Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Epic Cup Finals, and we have made it to the grand final. We have got the All Blacks playing Kwak-A-Mole. That is not quite what it says on the screen, at least for me, but I'm sure we will get there in a second. Yes, Kwak-A-Mole made it through the top side of the draft. All Blacks have come up from the bottom. Neither team has dropped a map as of yet, so this is going to be a very interesting clash. I'm joined here with my friend Sergeant Johnny. He's going to cast it with me. Johnny, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, and thanks for the announcement. And yeah, indeed, this will be a very tight series. We got this time not a best of three in the last matches. We got this time for this special grand final a best of 5 on our way, and that will be more even than we could potentially think for now.
5 potential maps coming out here to duke out what is a rematch from Group A, Sergeant Johnny. These two teams faced each other. The All Blacks losing that one slightly to Kwak-A-Mole 2-1, a very tight fought final game on Dragonshire, the awful map. Hopefully we won't see another Dragonshire decider again, because what a silly map.
Yeah, as you said, the team of Kwak-A-Mole is not known for losing maps, but All Blacks, they showed they can win against Kwak-A-Mole, and tonight they want to show it again, and they want to fight for this trophy, for the winner of them all, and we will see how far this is going to be. And all the games tonight in the semifinals and in the quarterfinals went 2-0, so none of the match went to a 3-mapper. So maybe this is going to be way quicker ending tonight than we thought, but I don't think in the grand final.
Well, we've got, 2 hours and 40 minutes till CCL starts? 40 and 14 minutes till CCL starts, so if we could just slide that one in nicely, that would be really good. No, but obviously, when we do finish this, there is more content coming on the Heroes Lounge channel. Next weekend, we'll be seeing Division 3 and 2 come out on Saturday for the Legendary Cup. Some absolutely fabulous teams qualified for that. Very exciting. And then, of course, Sunday, we will see the Mythic Championship, the strongest team in all of Heroes Lounge being decided there. And weekend after that, not to step away from the seriousness, the most tightly contested tournament in all of Heroes Lounge, we will be seeing the ARAM Championship. Some incredible sides fighting for that. My team haven't managed to get knocked out yet, so you might be able to see Luca inting on the main screen. Isn't that an exciting thought?
Of course it is.
Also, the most innovative tournament ever to grace Heroes of the Storm or any other esport coming up will be the Nexus Rumble. I believe that is on Sunday the 13th at 1900 CST. I want to say that is when it's going to be. I know that the current highest performing team in that Rumble is Food for Focus. They were knocked off their perch in the final by Complex, but let's not forget the team with the second most wins in that tournament, Super Unstoppable, is clearly the second best team ever to play in the Nexus Rumble. That's just maths, Sergeant Johnny.
Yeah, that's just maths, and definitely a thing I'm definitely not good with. But what I'm good with is announcing, and Luca, we are already preparing for first game coming up, and when we take a look to the bans and the map draft itself, we saw a ban on Battlefield of Eternity, Infernal Shrines, Brax's Holdout, and last but not least, Towers of Doom, that we definitely don't see tonight. But the first map coming up is a map we already seen today. It's Alterac Pass. What are your thoughts about that?
It's Alterac Pass is a very big map. There's a lot of a macro focus. Those two pole opposite bosses very difficult shot calling decisions. Often you have to trade them out like on Cursed Hollow, but the Tomb of the Spider Queen-esque objective, giving you that split pressure in 3 maps, can mean that you can really get some big pushes coming out in the late game.
Indeed, and there are also 2 bosses that you have to look out, one on the top lane and one on the bottom lane. And potential, as you said, the macro is so difficult on this map, but we will see how this game will going to be. And first of all, the red team coming up with their first ban tonight. And I'm... Yes?
Quick reminder to everyone in chat, the betting for this is now live. Bet Team A will allow you to use your hard-earned channel points on Kwak-A-Mole. Do you think they are going to be able to carry us through this to Elskaya victory and take map 1? Or Bet B, that will bring you your points in favor of the All Blacks! Exclamation mark, Bet B, that is. Getting your faith behind the New Zealand, the Kiwi team. I don't believe they're actually all from New Zealand. I think they're just fans of the rugger. But get your support in there now.
All right, and for now, we got already a ban on Lucio and also a ban on Urel. There's the next ban coming in on Zul. And of course, Zul and Urel both are good offlaners to clear waves and have a great team fight control, but the last pick is coming through, and I'm curious, Li Ming, KT, Greymane, I guess those 3 damage dealers, they are pretty critical to ban or pick. What do you think?
Looks like the Li Ming will go down. She can just sit forever on this map, interrupt the point for so long, but I feel the need to talk about this Lucio ban because as a tank player, there is one thing I don't want to see on my opponent's side. It's that Lucio. It just is so frustratingly annoying. It denies so much engage. We've seen him several times already today, admittedly not with that 100% success rate, but still. Get him out. And Greymane, that first pick, so much macro pressure, so much burst potential. I'm a Greymane fan, Sergeant Johnny.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Greymane comes in, and here is a good combination with D.Va, and together with him comes ETC. The Holy Cow is coming in and plays some great heavy metal, and is looking for potential mosh pit, but stage dive on this map is also a possibility. Globals on this map are a good thing to go, so we can think about Brightwing, Falset, or even the Haka.
I think especially the ETC D.Va have so much synergy between themselves that incredible peel from ETC allows you to hold the line forever, whilst D.Va can just dive in on the enemy backliners. And if you can find that breakpoint from the D.Va dive, if you see that point where the team fight is finally going in your favor, ETC can just slide in there, take those mosh pits, and carry that fight for you. But Taronda Johanna picked up for the All Blacks. This is not the first time we have seen them run that Taronda, Johnny.
Definitely. We saw them multiple times in the past today, and Jojo with the control, with the blast shield, and also Taronda with her stunts are trying or will try to control those team fights. And now we see a ban on Sonya. Her spin to win build was very successful in some games. And in just a few seconds, we will find out what's the last ban on this map. It will be the Hanzo.
That Sonya for the All Blacks in that last game caused so much trouble. She lived throughout everything. And on Ultrac Pass, the double strike potential of a Sonya is really valuable in the early to mid game. So not letting them have that into the D.Va, a nice ban. But the Hanzo ban really just safe damage, so much safety being put out, but it looks like safety was not on the minds of Kwak-A-Mole. They are coming in with the Brightwing and the Imperious, that triple front line. I like where this is going, Johnny.
Yeah, I like that as well. Imperious is just a monster. We saw him yesterday eliminating so much teams, and today we will see that triple frontline. And it's hard to get through. You got Greymane with the Cursed Bullet, maybe Janna with the Falling Sword to get behind them. But here is the answer. Malthael with the percentile damage and to heal himself up through all of this massive frontline, and together with him, Kalthas.
I mean, it's the plan as old as time. You see triple melee, you pick the living bomb, and you watch as they spread their own destruction. That Malthael, very nice into the melee heavy comps as well. He's got that cleanse on 13, which means the nasty CC chain that they have on the blue team will have to be pixel perfect, or he will be able to just unstoppable through it. But that Cassia is the final pickup. This is the definition of a death ball that the Kwak-A-Mole have brought here. They want to just run it down, and into that Taronda, she's going to have to play so carefully, because if she ever oversteps, ever gets caught a little bit high up, it's going to be so rough to get her out of the fight.
Indeed, Cassia is the hyper carry and the target you have to defend through all of the game. The rest of the frontline is trying to peel for the opponent's team to get anything done. And as we are heading into the loading screen, what do you think, Luca? Who's going to take that one?
Wow. I've seen some incredible plays coming out of the All Blacks and out of Kwak-A-Mole so far today. I find it very difficult in my head to separate the two, but I think this Taronda might just be the weak link in these drafts. I think it might just be a little bit too hard for her to stay safe in the face of all of the pressures he's facing. So I'm going to go ahead and give game one over.
Kwak-A-Mole, the one who won nearly every single game this season and also today, but we saw the All Blacks fighting in every single fight. And we are already in this game, and to the left side, ladies and gentlemen, the team of Kwak-A-Mole, and we got Herm playing the Diva, Dizzy Dwarf on Imperius, Doom Redcoat on the Brightwing, Jerry on the Cassia, and Bobette Conyon on ETC. I hope I spelled that correctly.
And on the right side, representing the All Blacks, looking to get vengeance coming back from their loss in the group stage, is Benny on that Malthael, L-Dog on the Taronda, Colonel Lord on the Keltha, Shadow Surge on the Greymane, and Dark Pyrox, bringing in the Holy Crusader on her Johanna.
We already got some stacking quests, but first of all, the goal is to clear out the mid lane wave and not lose any hero, and that's of course what both teams are currently doing. We got the endless stacking quest for Cassia, the Thunderstroke, and one of those globe quests for ETC, the Proc Rock.
Mm-hmm. Coming out on the red team, Kalthas is going to be stacking up that Mana Addict, while Lunara, Taronda trying to get those Lunar Blaze stacks out, just getting that extra range from the stun, and in the late game, a little bit more damage on that blow-up potential.
So, on this map, it's so difficult. Who do you send to what lane to soak? And for now, we got the 1 minute mark passed, so both of the teams, as we see, are heading to the only available normal siege camp that is available on the map. And no one is currently on the bot lane, but in the mid lane they're currently meeting up.
Looks like it will be a pretty even timing for both of these camps, the Cassia and the Diva being used with the Taronda and the Greymane on the other side. Both pretty strong camp play, going to get them pushing down the lane very shortly. Not a lot really happening just yet. Both teams just going through the motions of the macro. Malthael able to double soak is quite nice for the All Blacks, as they're going to try and converge as 5 into this camp fight, looking for maybe the first window in this game. But Johanna's able to walk in here. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to find a window just yet, though.
And in the meantime, Brightwing, the only blue hero on the top lane. Normally you don't see any healer soaking for himself, but with Brightwing you definitely can do this because of the teleport. You can global in to the team fight and of course heal your teammates back up. And there's a nice attack on Johanna, but she popped out her trade and is easily walking away. Was a little shocking moment, but she's escaping.
The Iron Skin with Hold Your Ground, especially on level 1. So much safety, so much survivability on that Johanna. Very nice little pickup there. Means she's so much safer in rotations. Although, speaking of rotations, Kel'Thas might have been caught a little bit far out. DC Dwarf on the Imperius, looking to land this Q here. Big medallion, though, will just about deny that, and he is going to be able to walk out of that.
True. That was a scary moment for Kel'Thas, but as you said, the medallion was just gold for him. Well placed and denied the finish of him. And now the first objective is up between the mid and the top lane. But I guess first both of the teams will look to their camps and get the level 7 talents in before they're facing the objective.
Because on this map, the objectives are so far away from safety, they're so hard to control, and they have so many obstacles towards capping. And often you see the teams forced to manipulate the maps first, looking to get these camps, looking to get some sort of a level or rotational advantage that allows them to actually contest in, as opposed to on a map like Shrines or Towers, where you're really forced to go as soon as they appear. It's a very unique map in that way, Johnny.
Yeah, definitely. And we have the first attempt of the red team to take the control of the blue team's objective to free the soldiers of the horde. But so far the blue team is able to deny this, and Diva Bomb exploding in the middle with no one standing in the range of the explosion. But better safe than sorry to pop the Diva mech and not losing it.
It's the old-fashioned wave clear explosion. You don't ever feel good about them, but they give you a bit of advantage. And looks like that got them enough of a rotational advantage that they could cap this, although big stun coming out from Kel'Thas. ETC's falling a bit low here, and Greymane wants him. Diva trying to peel, and ETC will make it out. Malthael, though, now he might be in a bit of trouble. Greymane is still diving onto the Cassia. Imperius somewhere in the back. Just caught by the tail end of that gravity lapse, and the Flame Strike will claim first blood in this game. All Blacks taking the lead.
Wow, they were just so good connections and so many things. The power slide and then the following spear that looked for just a second so beautiful and went so good for the blue team, but then the red team turned it over and the final Flame Strike finished off the first kill, Imperius. And
so many of those heroes could have gone down in that fight. They're so narrow the margins and so well fought. Imperius in the end being the first one to fall.
Indeed. And the next phase will be again the siege camp. The red team a little bit quicker are looking to take the objective once again. And this time Jojo is not getting interrupted, so the second seconds already are going on the account of the red team.
And with that level 10 about to pop for the red team, I don't think there's going to be a contest here for Kwak-A-Mole. They are going to have to let this one go through and see how they can deal with it later on. But they're going to get a little bit of XP from this Brightwing off-soak that won't be matched, so maybe they'll be ready as a little rotation onto ETC, sees what's what. Doesn't look like there's going to be anything coming from it though. And the cavalry is here, Sergeant Johnny.
Yes, exactly. The first raiders are coming in and there's the attack without level 10 abilities. The blue team look weak and they are able to find the first kill. The red team it is. It's again the Imperius. Nice engage into the middle before the raiders even appeared on the map. And now the blue team got their level 10 abilities as well to fight back. But without Imperius, this attack will have more value than with him.
And this is one of the problems with Brightwing. She has such an incredible burst heal that she can use from anywhere on the map, but it is on a delay, and if the enemy team can pop you fast enough that that heal won't go off, she is very, very little else that she can offer to help peel you away, especially if she is off-soaking that offlane. So nice execution there from the Kel'Thas Greymane blow-up, seeing the enemies just fall down.
And so far, the raiders open up every single wall, and now the focus is on the top lane. ETC in a little bit of trouble, slide it out and is safe for now. Phoenix comes out from Kel'Thas as well to take a little bit more damage onto the structures, but the red team got enough for now and are retreating. We got a slight experience lead for the red team as well, and also the first stack for last rites for Malthael.
Always nice to get those stacks early. The more stacks you get, the more CDR you get. The more CDR you get, the more often you can push the button, and the more often you can push the button, the more stacks you can get. So always nice to see that come down from the first kill. Makes the rest of the game just a little bit easier for him.
Indeed. The next siege camp wave is coming in. The red team, as in the previous camp rotation, a little bit quicker. But I guess in the next team fight around the objective, we will see how good the fights will go when the 5 teammates are coming close together, how the frontliners of the blue team will pay out, and if Malthael can burn through all of them. Now the attack is in the middle, D.Va is driving through all of them, and the red team is trying to eliminate the middle fort.
It's dropping so low, but it looks like it will survive. Just 490 health left on that building, Johnny. But no, it will be interesting. We haven't actually seen a straight 5-man fight yet from Kwak-A-Mole. So although they are falling a little bit behind and it is looking a little bit weak, a little bit scary for them, they still have a chance to get that window to come in. As we see a little bit of an attempt down on Malthael in the bottom side, but he's going to be okay.
Yeah, same attempt in the same but different was on the top lane on the D.Va, but she is good as well. There's another Phoenix coming out on the top lane against the structures, and talking about structures, the red team were finally able to take down the first structures of the game. It was the mid 4.
Yep. We did see the little Kalthas Pyroblast come in and finally confirm that. Now they're just going to siege down on the bottom side, forcing the red team to come down to them. Nicely done here by the blue team. Gonna see if they can get Annie Valley. There's a bit of damage out on this fort, but the All Blacks should be here soon. They're choosing to just use the Johanna, expecting the respect on the rotations whilst Greymane and Toronto there can get that camp. It's a nice little trick there. Rotate aggressively with 3, make it feel like there might be 5, and then get a little bit of macro pressure whilst you rotate.
Yeah. The blue team maybe did not play it yet for their camp, but another great thing that they took away was the healing fountain on the bot lane. That's very close to the upcoming objective, so the red team has to retreat into the middle to heal themselves back up. And maybe that's an issue for the upcoming match onto the objective. We have now the red team going into the Brightwing. No, Brightwing is safe for now. They were looking for him, but
yeah, once you hit that level 10 and you get Blink Hill, Brightwing is just so slippery. You really need a good CC chain. But speaking of CC, ETC trying to land that slide will get caught by the Kelthas, and now the red team trying to back out of this as Malthael isn't here, but Greymane's going to get caught. He's going to get Valkyrie back in. He dives out, gets the unstoppable, I think from his medallion? No, from somewhere else? It was his medallion, it's just the overlay being a little bit bugged for me. Yeah. Nicely done by him.
Those medallion plays. I saw a dead Greymane right there, but he managed it to pop out the unstoppable and just roll out of the way. Oh my god. And the stun from Tyrande just a little too late, and the first seconds are popping for the blue team this time, and the Raiders are growing. The red team tries to find back. Brightwing is coming in, but ETC! Oh no, ETC is down, and now the red team is looking for more. Malthael is just sliding through all of them. The last right is not connecting properly, but Kalthas is now in a little bit of trouble, is losing the shield to the swords of Imperius, and all of the red team is very low and has for now go back and heal themselves back up. What a fight.
Red team there stepping up to try and get a bit more damage, not respecting the D.Va bomb, but they couldn't find that second kill, and with that damage coming out on several members, they would have to back off and tap. But a very bold fight coming out from the blue team. They didn't have 16 whilst they were posted very aggressively there, but Johanna just making the space there for that double kill onto the pilot and the mech.
Oh my god, can't stop, won't stop. They picking them up wherever they can with those level 16 talents. And now the seconds for the red team are popping onto their account to get those raiders for the horde again. ETC a little bit small, carrying the living bomb out of the team fight, out of trouble. But I guess that will be a second objective for the red team.
Looks like that's going to go over now, and what will we see come out as the response from the blue team? They're going to try and poke in. It looks like they're going to try and step to fight here. But ETC has gone back to the wave. I'm a bit disappointed that they didn't find a window to start their siege camp, because it's always helpful to get you pushing out that mid lane. But just gonna opt to wait, as Brightwing might be a little bit deep here in the bottom side. The red team are definitely looking. She hasn't seen Johanna in that bush, and Shield might come out here. Cassia sees it. Maybe Johanna's just AFK team. No, it looks like Cassia drops so low. Greymane with the dive, he will be able to finish it up. But ETC with that W into Mosh Pit, you hate to see it.
Oh,
Unable to trap that Greymane, so unfortunate. But he does just have to back off now, and that kill onto the Cassia from the Johanna in a bush, even with the medallion being popped, is going to allow the All Blacks to really pressure this bottom keep now, Johnny.
unfortunately, that solo mosh pit, and indeed they're pushing really hard into the bottom lane keep. They also lost of course, the fort in the bottom lane and also the fort in the top lane. The fountain on the bottom lane is gone as well. What else can they grab? I don't think they can eliminate the bot lane keep, or are they? They're losing the D.Va mech into the middle. Maybe there's now the focus from all of the players from the red team onto the bottom lane. They're poking KT Flame Strike, but I guess it's not enough to take down the first structure onto the inner circle, the keeps.
It doesn't look like it, Johnny. Lots of damage coming out there, and it's definitely low enough that if they get a pick, they can do a little run by later on. But for now, that keep will stand, although with the fort up in the red lane, it's going to be a task for the blue team to keep their health on that keep, Johnny.
Yeah, of course. And if you take a look to the experience, the red team is just 2 complete levels ahead. They're very close to level 20 already, and with 5 kills against 0 so far. They are going for the top lane boss, and that will have more impact onto the blue team than the blue team's decision for the bot lane boss.
Do you know, we said this in the last cast, Johnny. We said, I like this play, their boss hits keep and the other one hits fort. But then, when I broke it down and we looked at what happened, it turned out that the blue boss always gets fort, but the red boss often struggles to get keep walls. So we'll see what the All Blacks can do with this. But it looks like they're going to try and take an aggressive fight here, catching the rotation after they push out mid lane. They've got that 20 advantage, so they can command position on the map. What are they going to do with this position is my question.
Yes, that's a great question. And as they see, all of the participants from the blue team are defending, or nearly everyone, the boss on the top lane. They are focusing the first keep on in this game. The mid lane keep will eventually fall. The boss maybe finish the wall and also more damage onto the top lane keep. But speaking of keeps, the bottom lane keep is falling as well.
It's a very nice rotation coming out there, but the shield comes down, the stun comes out, D.Va's mech pops, and Cassia has gone down as well. And now, with a kill, are they able to step up and take this core or the third keep? What do they think? It looks like they're just going to try and confirm the third keep, the lower risk play. They think 4v5 ending might be too much of a task, or maybe they just want to get the armor down before they try to wail on this core. But Johnny, that blow up there with that Johanna shield, so scary.
Definitely, and with this level 20 talents, they have the power and also just everything they need to engage so heavily with that much of an aggression. The blue team needs to soak until level 20 before re-enter any fight soon TM. And they are trying by grabbing up the siege camp, will push out the lanes, and they have a bit more than 30 seconds to prevent the next incoming raiders for the red team again.
And they do indeed have to look for this fight here, because if this objective pops, and they don't get kills, that will be game. Greymane isn't here yet, though. They've just got vision of that as the camp gets capped. And will ETC be able to deny this camp? Maybe. They still don't have 20 that losing. The channel is stopped, but here comes the bluff. Here are the stuns, and Cassia falls before the teleport comes down. Mosh Pit lands onto 2, but ETC will fall. D.Va's going to go down. Brightwing hasn't even left the bottom lane. I think her teleport still on cooldown after her first target fell, unfortunately. And with that, it will, I think, be the game going over to the All Blacks.
Yes, they definitely are looking with a zero shield Immortal there, will slice and dice through this Immortal, and I guess, as you said, Brightwing had no teleport up yet, and yeah, that's just game.
I think she tried to teleport onto the Cassia, and when the Cassia dies, it's a 10-second cooldown, so she can then join the fight, which is unfortunate for them. But no, nicely done there by them. Very well played by the All Blacks, though, putting Kwak-A-Mole in a position where they had to take that Hail Mary play, and then just playing well enough and cleanly enough that the Hail Mary wasn't going to land, as it were.
Yeah. And 11 kills to 0. None of the red team died. No one. And that's just a really great start into the grand final, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. All Blacks, only team left in this competition yet to drop a map. Are we going to see them hold that for the remainder of the tournament is, I guess, the question to be asking ourselves now.
Yes. Maybe no more triple frontline. Imperius is powerful, very powerful, but just did not find any great value. They fall back in experience pretty much, and yeah, we will see. Kwak-A-Mole in the previous games were very tough, and now they were bounced into the wall.
Are they going to bounce back off of that wall as we go to our second map? Sergeant Johnny, Brightwing and I have already talked extensively about Volskaya Foundry. What are your thoughts and feelings here?
I saw the games, and I took especially a great look on the Sylvanas players. But whenever I saw Sylvanas picking up their level 4 talents, I was a little bit disappointed, because Mercenary Queen is the talent you have to pick on Volskaya Foundry. Not even the turrets get twice big as they usually do. They also deal double the amount of damage, and the same goes to the healing beacon. Double the amount of healings.
It is important to remember with Mercenary Queen, not unlike Bloodlust, the extra damage is nice, the extra healing is obviously not a bad thing, but you're really playing it just to make it a bit bigger, right? That aesthetic value, it really gives you the ability to dominate the mental in those team fights, having a bigger turret than your opponents, especially if you've got that black arrows up and their opponent is all black, their turret is all black and its barrel is pointing down. The mental is just so strong from that. It wins you most fights on its own, Johnny.
Yeah. That's of course also something, not also during the fights, but also a great thing by taking the objective. If you hit one of those mercenaries 3 times, then it's just like the trait of Sylvanas. The camp will not attack you. But we are going into the draft of Volskaya Foundry, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 between Kwak-A-Mole and the All Blacks.
Mm-hmm. And what a game it's going to be. That instant Yrel ban coming out. It looks like Benny not going to be allowed to play Yrel anymore. And fans after my own heart, that Lucio response, Sergeant Johnny, free the tank main from the Lucio pick. Now we do have live in the chat your bet for the second map of the grand final. The All Blacks took game 1. It was close for a while, but a decisive swing into the late game allowed them to close it out. So do we in chat believe in the All Blacks? That's bet B, or exclamation mark bet B, I should say. Or are Kwak-A-Mole going to take this back and drive us into a 1-1 as we move into this best of 5 series? Exclamation mark bet A for Kwak-A-Mole. Johnny.
Yes, This is a very good question. Who's taking the next victory? But for now, we got more bands coming through. We got another healer band out. It's the Deckard Cain with the very controlled stay a while and listen, and also a potential Poison Nova from Zul gets shut down by eliminating that hero.
Deckard Cain on Volskaya is so strong. Those sushi carousels with the potions coming round and the massive sleeps can be so useful in the 20 fights. But this draft is going very quickly, Johnny. We see that Greymane picked up, always a strong pick. The macro, the bullet, it's all good stuff. But Anna Ming being brought out by the All Blacks, and we saw their Ming earlier in the series, and it was a 19 kill Ming, Johnny.
Yes, Ming just popped everything up, and I guess Greymane is the potential pick against all of them, or just the prior pick number one. But I guess the All Blacks already thought, okay, they will go for that, and after that pick, they immediately say, okay, we go for that nano-boosted Li Ming, but now we got a Deathwing and a Johanna on the other side, and imagine Deathwing flying all over them. Oh my god.
If this draft ends Leo Stukov, I'm putting my whole pot into Team Blue. I just but no, that Deathwing pick maybe making a bit more sense of the Greymane first pick, making sure the enemy team couldn't pick up that bullet by accident, so you don't have that very obvious counter pick available for your Deathwing. And now, be interesting to see which one of the threats to Deathwing they think is most important to ban. I think probably you have to remove that Leoric, but obviously you can just really greed it out and look for it. They think Malthael is actually the bigger threat from the offlane. I'm not sure I agree with that, Johnny.
Well, if you, as you mentioned, pick together with Janna and Deathwing another huge HP pool like Leoric, then Malthael could be a very big pain for your team, and maybe that's the reason why they ban it out. But here we go, the red team picking Leoric away, and together with that, they got another hero to burn down big HP pools. They got Tychus together with them, and now the question is, what is the blue team going to pick? And as you said, Stukov on Volskaya Foundry with that level 13 talent Virulent Reaction. They had so many routes they had to follow on with that silence. That was nearly impossible to escape, but they decided against Stukov, but Brightwing and Chromie are coming in.
Brightwing, Chromie, and the ETC final pick. Now, I do like this Chromie here. Once you see Leo Tychus, the triple frontline is maybe not the way you want to go, and that Chromie can really punish Tychus' short range. She's not great into Entomb, but you can always hide in your stasis for 8 seconds, and usually that's long enough for the Entomb and the fight and everything else to just kind of go away. So it's not an awful pickup. The Brightwing, I don't love it all of the time, but into this Li Ming, maybe that spell armor is going to be enough to deny the first reset. And although you can't targets, you can at least, or sleeping allies, you can at least shield them, right, Johnny? And so maybe we're going to see that as the pick as opposed to the Stukov. I don't know. I'm on board.
We will see how this game was going to be. And when I take a look to the bet count, it's dead even 50-50 as we are heading into map number 2 of this grand final, Kwak-A-Mole against the All Blacks. And this time again on the left for Kwak-A-Mole, we got Doom Redcoat again on the Brightwing, Herm on Chromie, Jerry on Deathwing, Dizzy Dwarf stole Greymane from the opponent team away, and Poppin Conin on Johanna.
And on the red side, looking to carry on their winning streak, keep up this revenge match for the playoffs bracket. The All Blacks looking to take the grand final of the Epic Cup. We have got Colonel Lord on the Li Ming, Benny on the Leoric, El Dog on the Anna, Shadow Surge on the Tigers, and Dark Pyrox on the ETC. Volskaya Foundry, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Colonel. You see, I felt over my own tongue as well.
Yeah.
That's a hard name to pronounce. But yeah, wave clear in the early game a little bit quicker, as we see in the mid lane for the blue team. Quicker rotation, but for the Li Ming. And 3 heroes down to the bot lane is not what I usually see on Volskaya Foundry. Normally you see both offlaners, in this case Leoric and Deathwing, heading onto the bottom lane and the 4-main rotation between mid and top lane. But we see other things right now.
I think we see the slightly different setup here because that Brightwing has the global, and so we see her marshalling the bot lane instead of the Deathwing, allowing us to be just a little bit quicker to contesting the healing cap. And I like that call. It means that with that global heal, you can really start to force 5v4s onto the healing cap, which is the main objective before that first checkpoint opens up. It's a nice adaptation for their draft, I think, Johnny.
Yeah. And one thing that the blue team already did was a really, really quick catch on their fortification camp, on their turret, but the red team also grabbed their first turret. Because always keep in mind, whenever you pick up the turret early, you got the choice to grab another one during the fight over the first objective in the mid lane.
A very interesting call here. We see the push camp picked up really early for the blue team. Not sure what they're going to try and do with the space this has made, though. It might just be a relatively easy pickup for the red team, as Li Ming they're blinking into that Earth Shatter from the Deathwing.
Yeah, indeed. Normally you want to take the camp late so that it will spawn during the first objective phase, but for now I'm also very curious that they picked it so early. I don't know what exactly the idea was behind that, but we are coming to our first control point on the map on the mid lane.
And here we see a little bit of that Chromie value. Her level 5 already coming in, so they have that damage boost should they choose to try and contest over this point here. Looks like Greymane's going to carry over into the bottom side for a little bit, so I guess maybe they just don't want to put the Deathwing up against that Leoric. They feel like the matchup is too rough for Deathwing and they want to keep him in that 4-man instead, where they can kind of make some more space for him. But well, Black's here just going to start off on this heal camp, and I think that the time trap should be giving vision of this to the blue team. It looks like Chromie is aware, but they're just not in position to contest, and they will take the priority on the point for that heal camp. That's a trade they're very comfortable with.
Yeah, and as we see, the big combos of Li Ming are hitting into the Great Dragon. The camp of the red team was taking later, as usually they other teams did, and is now facing the top lane. Chromie is the one to defend on that, and the rest of the red team can already take the control onto the point in the middle. And for now, they are able to push the blue team away.
Turret camps respawning here for the blue side. Red side's is just 20 seconds away, so interesting to see if we can spot that Greymane popping up, trying to add another little friend to his collection. Or if we're just going to try and move onto the point, the blue side looks like they want to try and force something here. I'm sure they really have the tools pre-10 though. Johanna not really having that shield jet. Deathwing not able to go anywhere too aggressively. He does look like he's going to be building into that Q build with that level 4 talent, so maybe not seeing too much aggressive diving coming out of him anyway.
The healing beacon had to be used to save the red team for now, and ETC is sliding into 3, including Deathwing, and now Deathwing is turning it around, but they lose Johanna. Leo with the final mace to the face, and is picking up the first kill of the game, first blood for the red team.
There's some wins there for the blue team. They did manage to force out that heal camp, so the item advantage is reset, and they only lost 1 hero for the entirety of this fight, so it's not much of an XP deficit. But of course, that first protector for the red team is going to be able to get a bit of value topside as Deathwing drops down on top of him.
The dragon comes down straight in front of the protector and makes the move like, "You shall not pass!" But I guess this protector will get his destination and will destroy the healing fountain. The laser hits it, but the shield is still intact and will be regrown just in a few seconds. So the top lane fountain not destroyed. That's a little win for the blue team.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there, the red team not able to get often the main objective of the first 10 minutes, that top lane fountain as you go into the level 12 objective. But I say level 12, it really depends on the game. A little attempt on Leo, but I think this is just for show. They're not expecting anything to really happen here. And blue team just going through the rotations, or both teams picking up their camps. Push camp again, coming out early for the blue team, maybe just doing it for the experience instead, but they're a bit slower on their turret, and ETC was almost there in time, but now this is a nasty choke as we head into our pause, Johnny. What a tease.
Yeah, what a tease. The red team, as in the last game, went for an early level 10 and were already looking again for an aggressive engage onto the blue side's turret camp, but we just saw the incoming flame not coming through yet from Deathwing, but we didn't saw the mosh pit as well, so could be potential turnaround onto the red team. They're a little bit in trouble if you ask me, because they're in a little choke point, but of course they are the ones with the level 10 abilities, so
yeah, can't be underestimated the value of these level 10s. The Entomb has come out catching that Johanna, so the nano into Annie Li Ming could be devastating in this fight. It's a nice choke for Li Ming to be able to fight into, but maybe the blue team have the space to back up. It's definitely not decided yet. We will see. The Brightwing, not the best healer in these early game fights before she gets her level 10, but she's got that spell armor still that she can give her onto Li Ming's first target, and if you can deny the reset, that's always nice. Looks like the teams are going to be ready in a moment, so we will be able to head back into this game, Johnny.
Yes. The lagging issues might be saluted by anything, and here's the counter here. Straight back into the game. There's the nano boost as you expected, and the choke point created by the Entomb, but no kills. Johanna survived, so does Deathwing running away. And now the blue team with their level 10 abilities as well, and did not lose any hero in the last fight.
And there's a nice advantage here for the blue team because Odin and Nano Boost were both used there. So the red team aren't ready to fight right now. Entomb will be back in 20 seconds, but Odin is on a 70-second cooldown still, so they can definitely try and force at this hero campus. They find ETC in a bush, Shield coming out straight away. They want to make sure the angle they find is the best one.
And that Colonel Lord with those nice combos and the nice positioning, but now the focus is on the Deathwing. He is caught in the Entomb, tried to fly away, but the damage was way too much to escape in time. He felt, and that's already the second kill for the red team, as they're now heading into the next objective onto the healing beacon.
Deathwing there, maybe just dropping a little bit too aggressively into the enemy team, and then straight away the amazing punish coming out there from the All-Backs, just saying, we have enough damage to finish you off if you pop down there. And very nicely done. That Tychus and Li Ming between them able to really shred those plates so quickly.
Ooh, here's a nice power slide onto the Johanna, and maybe the potential mosh pit on a single target hero, but Johanna had the Iron Skin ready up to just walk away, and you don't necessarily need to catch multiple heroes with those mosh pits. Even a single mosh pit is definitely valuable if you kill the target.
That is indeed true. Trading, even though it is a big cooldown, we are in a world right now where ETC can take that talent on 13 to get that CDR, and just getting that kill in a lot of cases can be so good if there's something you can really transform the value into. We do see that encore coming out from ETC as well, so that mosh pit, 120 seconds, is more of a suggestion. You tend to see it once every 60 seconds if the teams are fighting.
And now the blue team is facing more and more trouble. First of all, they have to defend the camp, but the blue team were able to manage to eliminate the fountain, but look at this! They are in trouble. Chromie is down, tried to stasis her out of the way, but Brightwing was not there. Instead, Greymane and Brightwing were stolen the fortification camp of the red team away, but to a cost, and they are losing Chromie.
Nicely played there by the red team. A strong Entomb coming out, catching the overextended 3-man off the blue side, whilst their Greymane and their Brightwing were doing those camps in the bottom lane, and now advantage definitely going over to the red team. Are going to have to back up here as the 4-man is ready, trying to push in for this point, but they'll be ready to reset and engage, and they've got a massive window that they can set this engage up in. Neo just getting those waves, pushing in, getting a little bit more minions like before they come to this fight.
Yep. But for now, the point is controlled, and here's the mosh pit together with the Entomb, but the fear from Deathwing comes through, and ETC is not looking good, got finished by Greymane, but also Chromie with the stasis in the backline will fall eventually to the Leoric. Yes, she will, and now the nano boost of Li Ming is coming through. There's the first one to fall. Where's the next one to come? Li Ming is looking for any more targets, but is not finding any more. But the red team, always fighting back. We have now 5 kills to 1, level 16 on its way. Wow, just wow.
Such a good fear there on the mosh pit in the Entomb, but unfortunately they couldn't find a second kill after ETC dropped, and Li Ming managed to turn that fight around. Very well played there by the All Blacks. Now it looks like they're going to have that level 16, and again they're making this play onto the top keep. We saw them do this last time with Volskaya Foundry, and I'm not sure I like it as much, Johnny. I'd much rather we just go and set up the map for our third objective.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also more the fan of preparing for the next objective. But as you can see, they're losing way more from the objective than they usually do when they go to the bottom lane. In the best scenarios, you also can take down the mid lane fort as well before you're heading down to take the fountain out, but I was a little bit thinking
massive damage onto Deathwing. He is gonna fall here to the laser, but Leoric with that W on top of him and all of the spells being shot out from the protector. Traditionally so difficult to land that machine gun, but on someone as massive as Deathwing, all of that damage is going to connect. And nicely played there by the red team. It looks like they will get this triple fort from the rotation and a little bit of top wall, although Protector does time out, so that's all the value they'll be getting there.
We have again another time, as in the last game, a 2-level lead for the red team. They're not level 20 yet, but they already got their level 16 talents. The blue team will face that in just a few seconds, but for now the red team is looking for any types of kills, of fights, anything they can do without the blue team having their level 16 talents, but they let it slide. Instead, they are going for the next healing camp and could potentially go for more camps on the right side.
With all of their forts down, this turret is not as safe as it would normally be, but it doesn't look like the red team are going to play for an invade. Instead, choosing to keep their advantage. They're almost 2 levels ahead, so not looking to do too much fighting now before they hit that 20, I imagine. Maybe just ETC is caught a little bit too far out here, unfortunately. No punish available for the blue team. He is going to be able to just back it up, and a little bit of a passive phase we're going into here, Johnny, is red team kind of just wants 20, so they're not really going to give too many opportunities now, I think, to the blue team.
Yes, indeed. They definitely want to get level 20 without losing any hero. The blue team is currently looking with the even talents for every single opportunity they can possibly get. As we just saw, they were looking to find take a kill on Leo in the mid lane. But if the red team manages to get level 20 in time for the next objective, and I guess that will be the case, then it's nearly impossible for the blue team to achieve anything without a big wonder.
This is the real problem with Volskaya Foundry. This objective has not yet been announced, and yet, for the past 30 seconds, neither team has had anything to do on this map, as they just kind of walk back and forwards at the 14-minute mark. soaking their lanes. It's very difficult to see why you would ever do anything aggressive as the red team right now, but it's very difficult to see what the blue team is supposed to do to punish that, Johnny.
Yes, and talking about blue team, look at ETC. He's looking for the Brightwing on the bot lane. Teleport
Nice
is
teleport,
available,
Jinx.
but ooh, are they actually going to save them? And Tube is missing onto the Brightwing. Oh, that was a clutch one, and the blue team is not losing out the healer. Oh my god.
Nicely done. Bribing actually having that hush on 16, so she wouldn't have the ability to phase out should some damage have come through there. But now the level 20s are in for the red team, and we see upgrades to almost all the ultimates. Only ETC going for that death metal instead, which I'm a big fan of the bolt on ETC when you think you're not going to get the value from your own moshes, because it lets you bolt slide, and that's normally enough. But death metal it's an option.
Yep, they always have in mind, maybe there's the opportunity for the blue team to wipe us, and then they got caught into the death metal. So the red team gets another chance to eliminate the rest of the team that got caught in there. The fight is popping off without the level 20 abilities. Joanna very deep into the backline, takes a lot of damage. There's the silence and two bird alive, and Jojo is finished. So is Greymane, caught by Li Ming. The red team is picking them up one by one.
So much damage coming out there from the Deathwing Breath, almost able to pop the Tychus, needing both the heal camp and Anna's healing just to keep him up. But now we see those 3 kills going over, and will the All Blacks be able to end off the back of this? They don't have a wave as of yet, but they should be able with this window to put a lot of pressure on that bot lane keep, I think. And the protector is up. I don't know. This is very sketchy for Kwak-A-Mole right now, Johnny. They still don't have those 20s. This protector is gonna march onto their keep.
Yes. Normally, later in this game, they can end with the protector through the bot lane when the fort is already destroyed. But the time is not that far away, so the protector is a little bit weaker. But what about 2 protectors when Tychus popped out his Odin to deal even more damage? And as you said, not having level 20 abilities is a huge issue. Is the blue team going to defend this?
Big mosh pit from ETC, and the blue core is starting to fall. It's at 50, 40, 30, 20% kills coming out on the ETC, but that death mosh onto 2 is going to make enough space for the red team to finish off and win map number 2, Johnny.
Oh my god.
Here we come. What a game, Johnny. What a game.
What a game, indeed. Li Ming is just so scary with those combos she hit it on Deathwing. You don't necessarily need any kind of, for like example, heroes that burns down huge HP pool for like Greymane, Leo, Malthael. Just a good combination of Li Ming pops out much more damage than you can possibly think of.
It's very true. Very nicely played there. That Leo Tychus as the Deathwing answer, forcing the blue team to do something slightly different than they might have wanted with their with their draft. And that nano boosted Li Ming in fights, right? It's absolutely awful. It's so devastating, so much damage. But getting close to Kwak-A-Mole, picking up some kills in this game. 2-8, it wasn't a stomp by any stretch of the imaginations. Clean and well played by the All Blacks, but not an outclassing by any stretch. It was very much winnable for Kwak-A-Mole. Some very narrow margins that they didn't quite make. So excited to see if this game 3 will go over to Kwak-A-Mole. Will we be able to see the start of the reverse sweep, or will the All Blacks be able to close it out, Johnny?
Indeed, that could be potentially the last game of today's Epic Cup Grand Final. That could be the 3rd victory for the All Blacks, and therefore the victory overall. And in the last previous 2 games, the team of Blue, the team of Kwak-A-Mole, they felt in the later game after reaching out level 10 slightly behind when it comes to experience. We saw the red team picking up more talents to have a better face for the upcoming fights, especially for the heroic abilities. The red team were always quicker with the heroic abilities, and they engaged so heavily. Whew.
They
I don't
do
know.
a very good job of keeping that slight XP lead over their opponents and then taking those fights, making those big plays at moments where the blue team aren't really in a position to answer it. But I don't know. I'm excited to see if the blue team can bring something different out. We've seen Alterac Pass. It's quite a big open fight area map. We've seen Volskaya Foundry. Again, quite big open areas for the fight. Maybe this time we'll see them bring us to a map that's a little bit more closed, a little bit more cordoned off, like Cursed Hollow. Some nice close choke fight points going on there. Or maybe the Infernal Shrines, where the Leeming isn't really an option because those Shrine Mins make it so hard for you to connect any of your spells.
Yes, definitely. And we now have the team to decide which map we are going to go. And first of all, we have the blue team. So the All Blacks are deciding where to go, and we got our final decision. It's going to be... No?
It's going to be Dragonshire, and that is... I'm not a fan.
I saw your head shaking, and I was like, well, they wrote Dragonshire, wasn't it the right decision?
I'm banning it, team. We're not doing it. Stream's off. Out of production. I'll see you guys next week. But no, we will be going to Dragonshire. It's well, it's a map. It's got a dragon on it, I guess.
Yeah, and 2 points you need to control.
I can like objectives.
Objective.
In one place. Right, one. I go to the objective, I work it out. Easy life. No thinking, turn up, do my team fight, jobs are good. Now, BOE, Alterac Pass, cheat a little bit. It's kind of 2 places, but they're in the same general vicinity. That's allowed. I give that a pass. Braxis, you're stretching it. 2 objectives, very different places. But Dragonshire, 3 different points that I have to pay attention to all at once. You must be having a giggle, mate. That is never gonna fly. So, silly map, shouldn't be played. Hopefully, though, we can see in the Madhouse Kwak-A-Mole take a win back off of the All Blacks, and we can go into a game 4, Johnny.
So that's now the big question: who's going to win the next game? But yeah, as you said, there is so much you need to take control of. If you lose the top lane control, you need to stay on the bottom lane. And if the team is heading to both shrines, you need to keep attention onto the mid lane. They're not grabbing it. But ladies and gentlemen, we are entering the draft of our 3rd map on Dragonshire. Whew. URL, usually that's the first ban. That wasn't even the question. And I guess Lucio is going to be banned as well. There we go. Anything else you want to ask?
Good job, team. Good job. Very quick fire with our bans here, and the Johanna ban definitely means there's going to be a slight change up in the draft. It's nice to see that there's a plan coming out here for Kwak-A-Mole, and that Grey main first pick again. They feel like that was something they wanted to do, and on Dragonshire, that macro pressure starts to matter a lot more than Volskaya, so maybe we'll see a bit more value coming out. And this draft is going so fast, I almost don't have time to remind you that the betting is now open, chat. So, exclamation mark, bet A, Kwak-A-Mole, will they keep this series going? Will they be able to see us through to a game 4? Or exclamation mark, bet B for the All Blacks, the 3-0, the clean sweep, the perfect run through the Epic Cup, not a single map dropped.
Indeed,
What do you think, Johnny?
Indeed, this draft is going quicker than we thought. And now with the ETC and Lunara coming in, we have the Li Ming on the blue team's team side this time. And I thought for a second there's also an Ana combination together with them, but no, it will be the Tyrande this time. I guess also to steal that away because ETC and Tyrande also got a very nice synergy.
And now they set themselves up in that bot lane to have a lot of kill pressure. With the owl, you always have vision of those little bushes that stand in the way of the silly little circle point on the silly little map. Sorry, we're going on a tangent. But the Tyrande owl just gives you that vision, gives you the ability to engage with those stuns, and that Kel'Thas ban that really ripped through them in the first map. I like this reaction.
And now the red team, indeed, with the next two picks, they needed one for the offlane, and I'm surprised that none of the teams faced to Rexa, because Rexa together with Misha is very good. Someone said the king of Dragonshire, because you just have the control, not on the lane, but on the point itself and at the same time. But for now, it's Deckard and Hanzo.
Misha and her little pet Rexar are very effective on this map, but they aren't uncounterable, I think, in this meta, and maybe neither team feels they play a strong enough Rexar that they want to early pick it. All Blacks, I guess, don't feel the need to show off lane just yet. They can react, they can respond to anything, and the blue team going to come out there with the Auric and Mal'Ganis. That is so much pressure in the bot lane. He sleeps into stuns with the armor and then the Li Ming blow up. That is so nasty. If Hanzo, the Nara deck get caught out, even ETC will pop through this. What are we going to see from the All Blacks to take care of this Leoric?
That's a good question. Urel is already banned out. Malthael not so. Potentially you can go into that, but Sonya is open as well, so I guess it will be Sonya. Yes.
Here she comes. Her blades are ours, team, as we come into this draft for potentially the final game. Johnny, who's got it for you?
Well, as you already said, the blue team got big control into those fights with the sleeps, with the stunts and the poke from the outside and the on-raging Greymane into all of them. But if you take a closer look to the red team, we got the stay a while and listen, we got the potential Hanzo arrow to stun everyone, and maybe the ETC together with the leap of Sonya, so multiple tools to control the enemy team. That will be a spicy one for game number 3 as we are heading into the potential final map of the grand final.
That indeed it is, Johnny. Oh, what a final it's been so far. The All Blacks have looked so stellar, but coming in on the blue team, representing Kwak-A-Mole. This is it. Do or die. No tricks left in the box. Nothing left unturned. This is the final chance. You lose here, you are out. The pressure is on, but it's time to step up. Playing that Greymane, we've got Herm, we've got Jory on the Leoric, Doom Redcoat on Tyrande, Dizzy Dwarf on the Mal'Ganis, and Li Ming will be brought to us by Bob Het Conjuring.
And to the right team side, we got the All Blacks, the double winner from the previous game. We got Colonel Lord on Hanzo, Benny on Sonya, L-Dog on Deckard, Shadow Surge on Lunara, and of course ETC played by Dark Pyrox.
Oh, what a final. What a final, Johnny. It's looking so tight that Kwak-A-Mole's so close to being on pace, but just slightly outmatched in a couple of areas so far this series. Will they be able to plug up those gaps? Are they going to be ready to come out here and face the mighty All Blacks in this game 3? Or will the All Blacks be too much for them? Big slows and damage coming out onto Mal'Ganis. They want this first blood early, but doesn't look like it's going to be going over.
Would be a little bit ironic if you ask me, because last season the team of Kwak-A-Mole entered the Rare Cup, were so dominant and eliminated everyone and won the grand final with a 3-0 victory, and now tonight they are exactly in the opposite position. They are now with a 0-2 with the back on the wall and have to prove that they are not done yet and have to fight back.
But they are by no means down or out of this series, Sergeant Johnny. They
No.
have got a lovely little draft set up for them with this Greymane macro pressure and the Leeming blob on this Dragonshire map that gives them this window. And last time they had their backs against the wall on Dragonshire against the All Blacks, they were able to pull out the victory. So will they be able to do it again? Don't forget, this map was picked by the All Blacks, who lost in their final game of this series in the playoffs. So this is maybe a bit of a call out by the All Blacks saying, yeah, maybe you had us here before, but tonight we've got your number.
Indeed. There was just for a small time the opportunity for the blue team already to pick up Dragon Knight number 1, but the red team takes the control onto the bottom lane shrine, and on the top lane it's the Leoric that has the control over the Sonya. And for now I'm taking a closer look onto the bot lane where the current action is heading. Both of the siege giants has been eliminated, and the red team currently with the attempt of Dragon Knight number 1, and indeed ETC was on the perfect time in the middle, and that's Dragon Knight number 1 for the All Blacks.
But in the bot lane, Mal'Ganis falling so low here, Toronto just able to keep him topped up. And this Dragon Knight, in that time, just wailing away on this front wall, reducing that safety measure that you get as the blue team, increasing the distance you have to travel to get those mid lane interrupts. As Mal'Ganis uses his little wings and flies away from that Dragon Knight with a little punt.
Hey, imagine having wings and can't even fly. Neither the Dragon Knight or Mal'Ganis.
The Dragon Knight uses his wings to let other people fly.
Oh, indeed. That's a good point.
That is his gift to the world, as the All Blacks setting up here to try and take away this spell armor camp. Greymane is doing the topside camp, so there won't be any response from Kwak-A-Mole. They are going to have to defend this. And that camp pushing in onto the healing well might mean that this safety distance in the mid and bot side are already going to be very low for Kwak-A-Mole. Very strong start from the All Blacks. As slide comes on to Taronda. Not going to be full up on her, but Li Ming drops really low. Root comes down, and she is going to fall here. It's unfortunate, Johnny.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. That's the first blood for the All Blacks again, and they're for now already with a nearly full level ahead of their opponent. And it's not looking good for now for the blue team. They are definitely trying to fight back. They are fighting for every single inch on this map. They grab the top camp to get some counter pressure onto the top lane, but Sonya is there in time to clear that out.
But this is the bottom fort going over to the All Blacks now. They are already pulling out a significant lead in this game 3 of the final, Johnny, and gonna need something to get back at the level 10 advantage for Kwak-A-Mole. They're gonna need to make something happen.
Yes, and Sonya in the meantime was just not enough damage, brought not enough damage to finish Lear on the top lane. But Luca, they pick another siege camp on the bottom lane, and their wave is even easier without having a fort onto the bot lane. Hanzo maybe in a little bit of trouble, jumped over the wall. Can they catch him? It
Doesn't
seems
have another jump, and Greymane's gonna be able to dive in and finish him off. That is the start of some momentum maybe for this blue team. They've got a camp already in that bot lane. With that Greymane, are they going to be able to push it out? Mal'Ganis, accepting that he doesn't have much siege, is going to go topside, and the rest of the blue team going to try and just take down this wall, get some value back into the bottom lane as Greymane and Li Ming wailing away on these structures. Potentially some Dragon Knight pressure coming over as well, as Leo and Sonya fight off the point whilst Mal'Ganis picks it up. But level 10 for the red side means Taronda can't step into this Lunara. Ooh, tying that line very close there, Sergeant Johnny.
Indeed, we have the Dragon Strike, Wrath of the Berserker, the Leaping Strike, Mosh Pit, and the Stay While and Listen for the red team. So great tools to control the opponent. The blue team Dragon Knights still available into the mid lane, but Li Ming will face the poke of Greymane, and they are trying to finish Hanzo, but he had to use the short distance arrow to survive that attempt.
Nice little blink there from Li Ming, able to avoid all the damage from that scatter arrow. She looked like she was in danger for a minute there, but hiding out in the Rose Garden. Greymane, though, caught by the slide, is going to roll out. Healing coming through just enough. That mosh pit landing onto no one. But now Sonya in the backside, suddenly looking a little bit low. Leo's got the drain on her. Can she get away? The healing potion from Deku comes out, and it looks like everyone is just going to be able to walk away from this fight, Johnny.
Yes, indeed. It looked very dramatic for both of the teams, but Greymane managed it to escape. The mosh pit was not as good as he thought, and also Tyrande managed every single one to heal back up. And also the drain of Leo was not long enough to finish Sonya, so no one felt in this particular fight. I saw multiple kills in this one, but for now, we got the top lane pressure for the blue team, the control of the shrine, and the red team is maybe eliminating, yes indeed, eliminating the next fountain. And now the control points are both active for the blue team and maybe their first Dragon Knight. Can they do this, Luca? What do you think?
Doesn't look like it, as the red team are going to be able to stall it out with that ETC and get control back in the bottom side, but nice plays coming out from the blue side. They're showing that they've got the ability to have the initiative on this map as well. Yorick has gone on an adventure, ended up in the bottom lane, and now actually ETC with this channel, but the owl comes out. And the stun coming down. ETC's getting chunked here for this cap as Leo manages to get the bottom side back. And now the rotation comes up. Sonya is quite low here. She could fall. Li Ming, does she have the kill? The Wave of Force not going to set up a kill, unfortunately for her. And Greymane, on his own camp behind two forts, gets dived by the All Blacks. What a great aggressive rotation. They're just going to walk away now, but Lunara found Li Ming. She wants to say hello there.
That hurts. ETC found the kill and managed to kill the Greymane. The little doggy get eliminated. That's a second kill already. Both teams with their level 13 ability, but the blue team cannot pick up the Dragon Knight for themselves yet. Sonya on the top lane and also Hanzo on the bottom lane are managed to turn this up on this head, and now it's available for the red team. I guess I know why you don't like this map.
Madness, absolutely. Looks like we're swinging back now at bottom lane. Li Ming's going to pick up this pressure, and Morganis just 1v1 dueling this Sonya, and it seems to be going surprisingly well for him. I didn't expect Morganis to be able to hold that. Bullet comes out, and the Entomb onto Lunara. She won't be able to get out of there. The stun comes down, and that is a kill for the blue team onto that Lunara. Now, can they get the Dragon Knight pressure with this? It looks like they're going to opt to just take this bottom siege camp. Going to try and siege up down the bot side. Leoric going to come in here, not going to allow this damage to this bot's trying to get capped, I think, by the red side, because ETC is in position for this Dragon Knight. Are they aware? Tyrande's coming up. Okay, the cap won't go over, and those siege camps are going to take that keep if left unattended. But speaking of unattended, ETC's on his own here, able to slide away. Nicely done there as well, Johnny.
Yes, ETC tried it sneaky as in the last one to get the second Dragon Knight, but Tyrande indeed was just in time there to prevent the worst, and now the control shifting again. Leo's trying to hold the red team away from the bottom Dragon Knight, but there's a Hanzo arrow connecting on Greymane, leaping strike again, and that's a blow up on Greymane. Third kill for the All Blacks, and maybe the next opportunity for them to take the next Dragon Shrine. Wow.
Very nicely done there. That Hanzo arrow connecting square onto the kill target, guaranteeing the route. And now again we see Sonya, just the best 1v1 bully on this game, able to have so much control in the top lane of that point. Dizzy Dwarf is going to walk up again on the Mal'Ganis and try and do something about it, but it doesn't look like he will be successful. Although the full rotation is going to force Sonya to just back it off a little bit there.
There's another Tyrant to prevent the worst from picking the next Dragon Knight. And in the meantime, the red team were able to secure the bot lane Dragon Shrine and also send a Mercenary Queen from the bot lane into the bot lane for keep already. That's even more pressure the blue team has to react to, and now the control is again available for the red team. Are they able to do this, Luca? What do you think?
The Li Ming poke is an option here, but the red team have this 5-man control. The first arrow can come down, but there isn't a lot of control now. It looks like they're actually going to choose to put Hanzo in the night instead of Lunara. Massive mosh pit though, coming down, hitting all 3 members in the mid lane. That is 3 kills in the DK. Is this core?
Oh my god. That could potentially be core. I mean, you're not that far into the game. You're only by 12 minutes, but you already got the level 17. The mid lane fort got destroyed, and the Dragon Knight still has over 90% of his health. So they could potentially burn through that bottom lane keep and maybe take some percent damage from the core, but I just don't think they can end here. That would be a miracle.
The 5-man are going to be up in 7 seconds left on that Li Ming. It looks like Hanzo is going to look at the double keep. Sonya wants the core. The team looks like they're just calling to get that well and leave. But it is still the bottom keep falling here for the red team. Nicely done for them, and they are going to have a nice and safe retreat. That 3-man mosh pit getting so much value for the red team from the ETC.
Indeed, and they're looking for even more structural damage as they are heading onto the top lane, eliminating the fountain, and now they can open up the walls to give more damage onto the last remaining 4 onto the map from the blue team. But the blue team looking for revenge. They are looking to get anything done, but the red team is in time behind their walls and safe for now. But the blue team, they're not done yet. They are looking for every single opportunity they can get. They are on even talents, and both of the teams are going for the similar camps for now. God, is this tight.
The Grandmasters in Twitch chat are currently explaining in depth how you're supposed to play this map in the competitive environment, and so I feel the need to just put my 2 cents in for how you play this map in the competitive environment, because there is only one correct method, and that is you first ban it. Don't worry about it, it's not in the pool anymore. But as I said, the arrow comes down onto the Mal'Ganis. Doesn't look like there's going to be much follow-up though. The sleep from the Mal'Ganis denying stay a while and listen, and now Decade in the Entomb is going to pop. That was so close, Johnny, but now Lunara might be able to make it up. Li Ming wants her. Li Ming's going for it, and she is going to get her the 2nd kill for Kwak-A-Mole. The marginal. So close that sleep was. I thought I saw the outline of the stay a while and listen pop up. I thought we were going to be okay, but it got cancelled by the Mal'Ganis, and the Entomb so big.
I never saw that coming. I thought the stay a while is hitting so many heroes as well, but I never saw a counter sleep. The Decade was like, I'm going to sleep you all, and Mal'Ganis was like, no, I'm going to sleep you first.
Can't read to me if you've already fallen asleep. As the Entomb onto Sonya, that's going to be a nice little pickup here. Going to help them keep this snowball. Level 20 is going to be achieved now for the blue team before the red team can properly contest. But what are they going to do with this advantage? It looks like they're going to be able to set for this Dragon Knight. They don't have one in mid to cap just yet. Toronto should get there in time, though. Maybe not. The wave's already there. It looks like ETC wants to try and deny this cap. He's going really deep, though. I don't know if I like this play. The Medallion Mosh Pit sleep, but Ming is able to get it. Blinks into the sleep, though. Oh, doesn't matter. The cap goes over, and have the All Blacks being a little bit reckless and thrown away their lead here, Johnny. I think maybe they could have afforded to just wait the stagger out.
Yes, they definitely could, but that's now the first official. Oh, and the silence into Lunara. She's tried to hop away. They are sacrificing Leo for this, but Leo is just activating his trait and will be back way earlier than Lunara. And this first Dragon Knight for the blue team is murdering every single structure. They even go for the first keep, and Sonya's not looking healthy as well, but is escaping that from that attack. Oh my god.
It looks like the red team have done enough damage to this DK that we won't be able to see Kwak-A-Mole core here. So at the end of the day, this is still fine for them. They just have to wait 20 seconds for Lunara and reset, but some big warning signs on what fights could look like if it goes wrong for them. And All Blacks really need to just take a step, stop for a second, reset this game and go, okay, we still have pressure in the most important lane on the map. We still have pressure in the top lane as well. The mid lane pressure isn't in our favor, but it's okay. We can push that out when we need to. This is fine. We're fine. Calm down and let's go again as the blue team prepare to stack some camps coming towards their bot lane keep. But the wall is still up, so this is very holdable.
And the blue team now picking up the bottom lane bruiser camp, not only to put pressure themselves onto the red team, but also denying their own pressure onto the core, because on the bottom lane there's no keep anymore for the blue team. But in general, I have to say this is so even. We got level 21 against level 21. We got 7 kills on both sides, and we saw both teams having so great opportunities like this. The blue team with the massive and the double kill, but now the death mosh. Look at this, hitting 4 people.
There are not enough damage left, Johnny. Leaving's able to blink out. Another massive sneak comes out from Mal'Ganis. Can they follow it up? It doesn't look like it, and no kills go over. Oh, Hans at 100 health. But oh, that massive silencing tune, and the blue team, they want to get the keep, but I think they could just march this through to the core, Johnny.
I think so as well. They murdered him. That silent and tomb buried alive came from the flank, was perfectly hit it too, and both of them were just melting away. The blue team managed it to take down keep number 2, but they are not going for the core yet. They got in mind, we don't want to risk anything here. We have the time to get the next upcoming Dragon Knight that's available right now, and maybe together with
this
that...
Sonya is very close to Leo, and Tomb is up again. Is she going to be able to get it? The stun comes out. Brilliant either. They can't quite interrupt the Dragon Knight from Hanzo. That was so close, Johnny, and now they have to burn this down so quickly. They are at least up as 5. That's the saving grace. This one Hail Mary team fight. Can they put enough damage onto the DK before it hits the core? Can they end this? Can they save this game and maybe get the kills to run bot and end themselves? DK looking healthy, but they haven't managed to get it on the core yet. Lunara doing damage in the backline. I don't know if this is an end, Johnny. The sneak comes out. Both the frontliners. Dragon Knight falls so low here. Big silence coming out, but now the core is falling. 75%, 60%. No kills yet. The big arrow comes down. The mosh pit on top of it, but it's 40% on the core, 30%. Braymane is hitting it free, and I think this might be the game 2010.
This is it. The blue team finally takes revenge and win their first map into the grand final. GG and well played, and they fought very well. They had their opportunities. They had great moments in the last minutes, like the buried alive, and the red team fought back with everything they had against the last attempt to take down the core, but it was just not enough to prevent the core from falling. And yes, it's not over yet. We're heading into an upcoming game number 4.
And ladies and gentlemen, here we see the exact reason why we don't pick Dragonshire. It's not complicated. So many other maps. Just play those. Oh, what a game, Johnny. What a game. It looked like the All Blacks had that for so long. But in the end, they just weren't quite able to clutch it out. And now, the start of the reverse sweep for Kwak-A-Mole might be coming through here.
Indeed, that was just so goddamn close. If you maybe thought your last game was close, or if you thought someone else parked close to your car, then take a better look at the last game. That was even more close. They were even tied in kills, I guess also in structures and in kills. and the blue team just had the better momentum in the last few minutes. And question to you, Luca, were these team fights good enough for you to maybe like the map?
I am go that far. I am. Maybe it's better than Braxis. Maybe it's better than Braxis. No, but we have got our first pick. We know will go over to the All Blacks. So with just Cursed Hollow, Sky Temple, and Tomb of the Spider Queen left in the pool, what do you think we're gonna see coming out here, John?
Was just about to say, I guess we're going to see Tomb of the Spider Queen because that's the map I would like to play most, but I'm wrong. We are going to head into the next map. It's Cursed Hollow. Oh my god.
Oh, now Cursed Hollow. If Dragonshire is an example of a macro map done wrong, Cursed Hollow is an example of a macro map done right. There are so many ways that you can go and force your advantage. There are bosses you can fight over. There are single objective points for you to capture, and there is a clear, obvious objective that gets you so much pressure on the map. It is an absolute dream of a map, the OG map, some would argue, in the competitive scene. Looking forward to see where we're going to go. It looks like there might be a quick little break in between as the teams compose themselves after that third game, Johnny. So, gonna have to ramble on a little bit more here about what we've already seen. What are you thinking? What are you? If you're Kwak-A-Mole, you went 0-2 down. You haven't lost a map. You've come the final. You were here before. Last time you were here, you just won. Now you're back. First 2 games against the All Blacks. Upstart team, but you beat them 2-1 already. You're feeling a bit confident, and they floor you. Both games they play so perfectly. You can't find a chink in their armor. First game, you don't even get a kill. And now game 3, you've managed to get that win back, and they've taken that first pick, and you've brought us to Cursed Hollow. What's our plan?
I guess, first of all, the prioritization will be again the Greymane and of course the Li Ming. With Li Ming, you got so many good spots where you can poke from the outside to deal massive damage onto the enemy team. But also, Cursed Hollow is a bigger map, so globals are also a fact. So we can potentially see Brightwing or no, I don't think we will see Falstad again. Yeah.
Deathwing has a global. Lots of good heroes out there have globals. ETC, technically a global hero, although not seeing the mosh pit is unlikely. I think that's all the globals. I can't think of any other global heroes you might.
There's one more, and also a good hero when it comes to interrupt the taking the curse. It's Deathwing.
Of course,
Deathwing is a very good hero when he's up in the air and the enemy team is trying to pick up the tribute. Then he got vision on you, so he can send down these fireballs to interrupt this, and you got enough time to do this for a very long time, so you need at least 2 heroes to take the tribute by not getting interrupted from Deathwing.
Mm-hmm. So Deathwing, Falstad, maybe some Brightwing, potential for lots of global pressure coming out here, and of course you get those cheeses as well on a big map like this. Maybe some Vikings or some Abatha coming out for us to see. I don't know if either team plays it, but if you've got that little sneaky back pocket strat, especially if you're the All Blacks, you've got a game to play with before you play your final map. You would expect this match to be harder than the final one because you're giving map pick away both times, and so this should be Kwak-A-Mole's favorite of the remaining 3 maps. Why not take something cheesy, something they're not expecting, throw that curveball out there, see if you can maybe make it stick.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how those teams are going to draft their team together, and I'm very excited for the game itself. Will it be the blue team taking another victory, so it all comes down to the last and final game 5 in this evening, in this grand final. Or is the red team with their composition able to close it with a 3-1 victory? We will see.
It's the question, isn't it? It looks like the teams might be ready. I think we're going to get very close to this cursed hollow draft. I think this is the second time now we've seen the All Blacks with first picks, so interesting to see if their draft will change at all. Any differences in control? Are we still going to see that very Lucio first ban? Lots of important questions to ask, but of course we have to begin by reminding everybody that you can now vote on the contest. There will be vote exclamation mark vote A for Kwak-A-Mole. They've got momentum on their side. They're ready to try the reverse sweep in this best of 5 on Cursed Hollow. Do you think they can get it? That's exclamation mark vote A. Or alternatively, the All Blacks, they're one game away from taking this crown, from taking it off of the reigning champions on this Cursed Hollow with the first pick. Exclamation mark vote B for the All Blacks. Such Johnny.
Yeah, and indeed, as you already expected, we got the bans from the last games. We got the ban on Lucio, on URL. Zul ban is coming out right now, and now the question is, what do you ban out? Do you ban out Li Ming? Do you ban out Greymane? Or even one of those globals we already talked about?
Mm-hmm. So many options as well, though, and the Gazlo, the Deathwing, the third melee picks that have been kind of creeping into the meta. Are you scared of that on a map like this that has much tighter chokes? And Greymane is the thing they really want to remove. It really makes the draft more interesting once Greymane is gone, because that cursed bullet is so strong into some of the heroes that really taking it out opens up your options for early picks a little bit more.
Indeed. Now the first pick for the red team is coming through, and it is Li Ming, indeed, as in the last games. Maybe together with Ana, but the blue team now to decide what heroes they are going to pick, and they potentially can pick Ana away from the red team, but Li Ming in particular has and had in the previous game also great damage against Deathwing.
Here we see some of that global pressure coming out, that Falstad and the ETC, which could still maybe stage dive, although I'm not committed. But the Falstad, that has a global. That global pressure for Cursed Hollow really helps with that macro, but Johanna Lunara will be the response, and now you've got that slow poisonous tick coming in and the big leaning blow up at the end of it. Interested to see what that will mean. Will they be able to really get some of these mid-game fights going in their favor, Johnny?
I'm a little surprised, to be honest, that the red team did not secure the Brightwing. Maybe you can tell me about that, because the blue team now got a global, and they also don't got a healer yet, so they can potentially go for the Brightwing deal. And yeah, but when I think to myself, Lunara and Li Ming on the other side, maybe a little bit too much damage coming out for Brightwing. I don't know.
There are many ways. They don't want that Brightwing at all. There are many ways. There are many ways you can try and win Cursed Hollow, and the global pressure is very effective, but the power spiking at 10 to 13 can really work for you if you manage to marshal that early game properly, and you can get 2 of those early tributes, which is not that impossible. Getting into that 13 fight where you hit that huge spike, which Lunara, Ming, and Johanna, you really do find a nice extra bit of damage there that pushes you over the line and really wins you those fights. You can take that and you can really run with it and end up fighting 16 into 14 on keeps or over bosses to take that game before the global pressure really matters. But Taronda Hanzo coming out again, that passive, more macro style. Hanzo interrupts for days, and that Dragon Arrow can set up some big fights, and Taronda the same. But interesting to see what the response is going to be. Anduin Thrall.
Indeed.
That would not have been my prediction, Johnny.
Not mine either. But yeah, the last one is coming through for the blue team. Andu and Johanna get the potential light bomb falling sword combination thrall with the slows, and then Lunara got enough time to hop around and share the gift all around them. And Li Ming with the poke from the outside, but there finally is the Deathwing, and yeah, not much they have against the Deathwing, but Li Ming with the poke.
Mm-hmm. Very nicely done there. I love the draft of the red team if this is indeed the light bomb. Right. Just if you ever see Taronda without ETC or Deathwing in front of her, you slam that light bomb, you fall on top of her, and then Lunara just runs her down on top. Li Ming throws all of her spells, and she's just not going to exist anymore. And now you're deep. You can just kill the Hanzo straight afterwards, and that fight's over. They don't have the same percentage damage you might normally want to take out the Deathwing, but Thrall has a little bit, and Lunara Poison, Li Ming Poke, both very annoying into that Deathwing. So,
but as I think about it, we're starting game number 1, and Falset, of course, is a hero to gust all of that away. But we will see how this is going in our game number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Kwak-A-Mole against the All Blacks in game number 4 of this grand final. And to the left side of the map, we got the team of Kwak-A-Mole with Herm on Hanzo, Doom Redcoat on Tyrande, Dizzy Dwarf on Falstad, Brabhead Conin on ETC, and Jerry on his Deathwing.
and on the right side, playing for the final win. If they win this game, they win the series. Those were the words I was looking for. The All Blacks, we have got L-Dog on the Anduin, Benny on the Thrall, Shadow Surge on the Lunara, Dark Brooks on the Johanna, and Colonel Lord on the Li Ming. Are you ready, Johnny? Because I think I'm ready.
I'm definitely ready for maybe again the last game of this evening. Thrall already up against Deathwing on the top lane, and so far no one is facing Lunara on the bottom lane. Now there's someone coming down, it's ETC, and was looking for a perfect power slide, but for now the teams are just collecting more and more experience on the map.
Yeah, it is, that level 1 gut check. You have a little look. You see, am I going to be able to get that fight that really gives me a bit of an advantage, or are you equal to me? Because neither side should have too much of a window to get anything done, but you got to give it a check, see what's going to work for you, and both teams equal to whatever the other side could throw at them.
Indeed, and talking about quests, we got the stacking quest for Tyrande, the Lunar Blaze, and also the target practice for Hanzo. So he has to hit every hero from the blue team 3 times. That's the way I wanted to say it.
That Cubed Hanzo, just so much potential poke damage coming out there. Can be really strong once you get it stacked. You miss a little bit of the burst you get with the scatter build, but in those longer fights, if you think your opponent can't ever engage you, it can get so much damage out.
Indeed. And the red team already picked up their siege camp that's now colliding onto the bottom lane and will later look to their own bruiser camp. And the blue team will do the opposite thing. They picked up, as I said, the bruiser camp right now and will do the siege camp later. So it gets more value during the objective that will be on the bottom lane of this map.
All Blacks there at first looks like they wanted to try and pick up their own bruiser camp, but now seeing the amount of damage the blue team one is going to do, feel like they have to come down. But Thrall here going to be able to burn the medallion of ETC. Nicely done from that rotation, and that is a big advantage they're going to have coming into these early fights now. ETC without the ability to cleanse himself.
Yeah, could be a missing thing that is definitely needed in the upcoming fights. I mean, the medallion is gone for 5 whole minutes, and that's a lot in this game. The red team now with the Bruiser Camp and maybe a little bit late, but potentially they could give that one up. No, Falstad decided to take more damage onto Li Ming, but she escaped, and now they're turning it against Falstad. He's falling really low, but he is escaping as well. The fight is all on.
Nicely done there. Falstad maybe would have been safer just capping that tribute, but he thought he smelled blood and he went for that Li Ming and couldn't quite finish it out. The damage was traded and now we reset. Deathwing's going to look for a bit of a flank here, but that Wisp is giving vision of him, so the enemy team are going to be able to see that coming. Hellback's not falling for that one.
Indeed. They are now currently looking to get the level 7 abilities right now. The blue team could go for that one in just a few seconds, but the red team is looking for that as well. 2 heroes are currently trying to channel that, but got interrupted for now. Level 7 abilities and talents are now in for the red team. They got 3 medallions. No, 2 medallions left.
She pops Li Ming with the reset. Can they get a second? No, but the channel goes over to the red team. Lunara falling really low in a little 1v1 with Falstad, but won't drop all the way. And first tribute for the All Blacks in the top lane. That wall almost taken down completely by those siege giants, not responded to by Thrall.
Exactly. They maybe lost a hero during the fight, but those siege...
Li Ming!
Oh my god.
Falstad is gone. He is a squishy, frail little bird, and Li Ming just seeing him a little bit low. That full combo from Fog, and Falstad just wasn't ready for it. Big kill coming over, and that is going to really help the All Blacks here as Deathwing has been caught maybe a little bit. He's going to have to burn his ult to get that rotation out. And 3 nice little interactions in a row here from the All Blacks. Is this the momentum they need in this final game, Johnny? Can they build from this? They have this siege cap pushing the bot lane as this tribute is in the safe cap for them. Li Ming currently looks like she might stay bottom side now. She's going to move up as Hanzo and Falstad. Damage! Oh! Colonel Lord. God. You can see how he got 19 kills, right?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Should just be a safe cap for the blue team, the red team rather, as my mouth has trouble making the word shapes, but this is going to be a death ring though, with the interrupts for days whilst Falstad off-soaks that lane, but Johanna's just looking for kills. She doesn't care about Deathwing and his little dropping from the sky falls.
And
Wonder with the owl is caught by the Lunara, but red team aren't going to be able to cap this anytime soon, as Deathwing will have interrupts.
They do. Deathwing in the air got enough interrupts, and that's exactly what happened, what I expected. Deathwing from the air is just preventing every single one from the red team to get the second tribute. But now the blue team comes in, wants to fight. Power Slide is hitting onto Thrall. Deathwing now enters the fight, but ETC is the one to fall onto, of course, Li Ming. Who else? Sundering comes onto the blue team. Deathwing is flying out. They're losing Hanzo. They're losing the full set as well. Li Ming is just popping every single one. Resets after resets. Oh my god.
And unfortunately for the red team, they're all a little bit low. There's not a lot of value they can get from this triple kill, but that is a level lead in the experience right now. This is really going to help them as we move through the game. And they are going, I think, to have a try of this boss, but they did get scouted instantly by that arrow. So with the gust and the arrow, are the blue team going to try and make a play for it? No, they're just going to take their own boss. Second owl confirms that the boss is still going up, but Johnny, this game, absolutely explosive fight coming out there from the All Blacks. They looked a little bit dumbfounded for a minute by the Deathwing Skyfalls denying them, but they worked it out. They found their footing, they got that fight, and here they are a level up on Curse Point, and they are much quicker to this tribute than the blue team are going to be. This is not a good situation for Kwak-A-Mole on their final lifeline in this tournament.
Indeed, it isn't. But as you said, the blue team might be a little bit late, but don't forget about Deathwing. He can prevent everything from the sky. Or is he? There's the Hanzo arrow blocked by the Lunara. And that's the third tribute collected by the red team. And now Li Ming wants everything. But the gust prevents the attack and got shut down for now. But the tribute is collected, and the curse is running. ETC on the top lane, maybe got caught. Then
Oh, big roof hammering comes down, and he's going to fall. Tries to channel that mosh pit, but the medallion won't be enough to save him. He is going to drop, and now the red team sieging with this boss, with this curse onto the keep. They want to open up the first keep, not even 10 minutes into the game. They've lost their fort to boss in the bot lane, but they don't care. They smell blood in the water, Johnny, and they want to end this. Big engage from the shield. First kill goes down. Li Ming gets the second. The boss is still healthy. How far can we go here, Johnny? The keep's about to fall. Is that all? It looks like the All Blacks might back up. ETC falls low. Lunara, can he dive this? Doesn't know she's going to. Curse ends, but it looks like the All Blacks smell the blood. They want this. The boss is hitting the core, and they are pushing for this. For the epic cup, Johnny. Have they got the damage? Boss slam comes down. It doesn't look like they will do. They are going to have to back out here, but 13% onto the core. The arrow on Lunara. The grip from Anduin is on point, and Li Ming should be able to get out here. Gust maybe puts her back enough. Oh. I don't know, Johnny.
What an attack. They brought the boss even to the core, and the core lost not only the shields, but 13% of his life. Oh my god, I just thought for a second that the red team can end this right here, but it was just not enough. They can give onto the core. Maybe with another kill they can do it, but not now, not yet. They got their level 13 abilities. They got a level lead in this fourth game, and also 8 kills to 0 in the favor of the red team. Li Ming is just a freaking monster right now.
But as we see this map, if we take a step back and look at this map, it is so favored right now for the All Blacks. They have that keep in the top lane, that constant catapult pressure for the rest of the game, and that is their boss lane. If anything ever goes wrong now for the blue team, it's going to be so easy for the All Blacks to get down there and just take that boss and end the game, as Li Ming with a great medallion there, duking out on the ETC side and dodging the arrow. Unfortunate for Hanzo.
Arrow missed, and the blue team is retreating. Maybe they can defend the mid lane fort. They got a camp pushing onto the top lane. The red team is going to deal with that. And for now, the blue team is a little bit in trouble. They are not out of it, don't get me wrong, but it's getting tougher and tougher for them. They showed they can come back into the game. If you take a closer look to the last game on Dragonshire, they were behind, but then were able to turn it around, and the next tribute is coming up onto the blue team side. So maybe this position is better for them to take their first tribute of the game.
Level 16 is not yet here for the All Blacks, and I really like this call. They are not looking for this tribute at all. Lunara is just pushing out that top lane. Gonna try and get as much damage down there as she can. Tao's gonna fall. 16s do now hit though, and the All Blacks maybe still have a contest in them. Looks like they're gonna be here as 4. The flashlight comes down. Toronto can't get that channel through, and it's a tight choke to fight into Deathwing, but they're looking for the angle, and that breath is not quite as good as it could be. The arrow comes down onto 3, but Johanna running in deep, trying to stun that Toronto. She is all on her own though. Maybe a little bit too much of a split, and ETC getting that big slide and the stun, throwing Thrall in, but the grab comes out. ETC falls. Johanna will go down here though, I think. Yes, but more kills come through. No, in fact, Johanna living so long there before she finally falls. And now 4 kills going over to the red team. They get the tribute. What comes next, Johnny? This has to be at least another 4, right? Yeah. They're going to take out this camp and push out mid-keep, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe they get this keep wall. I don't know. I'd like to see one of them go and get this wave whilst they do this, because
the red team was
no, they're just buying time for this boss to come up. And now, okay.
Indeed.
Here, potentially, we see this double boss play culminating in a 16 push on core? Question mark? I don't know. I think that might be where we're ending up, Johnny.
Maybe the red team are able to grab the next boss onto the bottom lane, but the boss has to go first through the last remaining fort for the blue team, but will clear that out 100% and maybe can take down the keep wall as well. And now the red team can take a closer look to their own boss on the top lane as well. The blue team just manages to get their level 16 talents, and maybe they can enter this fight onto the lane. They're already coming. They sniffed out there here, but just a little Ming combo took down Quarter, and the arrow is hitting, but no follow-up from the rest of the team. The next tribute also next to the boss onto the top lane. Both teams with a level 16 talents, and that's a new opportunity for both teams to win this fight.
Position being fought for and one hit by the All Blacks. They still have that boss pushing through the bot lane. It has dealt with the fort, so there's no longer pressure there, but it won't get too much more. Hanzo does have a lot of interrupts here, so not a lot of fear for them, but the All Blacks very happy to just hold this choke, slowly channel the tribute, and Deathwing with that last second Skyfall gonna be able to deny just a little bit longer.
The next cooldown will be ready, and Hanzo's helping him out. Oh my god, this is so intense. This is so close.
On a knife's edge here, the blue team cannot afford another mistake. ETC gets caught by the root. Li Ming puts the damage out. Sunring will interrupt that ultimate, but Lunara falls in the backline to the Faustad, and now Deathwing is in the middle of the red team. The rest of the blue members very low. Li Ming doesn't care about Deathwing. She's diving with Johanna, but the arrow lands. It's so big, the slide comes through, and the second kill goes over to the All Blacks. That grip not really helping Johanna out that much, and she will fall as well. What a fight for the All Blacks. As someone is going to have to hearth soon as two catapults enter on the core, but I think ETC should be able to deal with that quite comfortably. And they are going to move on to this boss. They get the first tribute of the game as well.
Oh my god, as I said, don't count them out. They got power left in their tank, and they showed it. They pulled that team fight so very, very long that the red team had nothing else to pull against them, and then the blue team striked against them. First of all, Lunara fell, then they found this incredible kill on the most dangerous hero, Li Ming, and they found an additional kill in Johanna as well. So a triple kill, and maybe a glimmer of hope for the blue team to come back into this game. What a fight.
Red team not too fussed about this top fort. They're happy to see it go down. They're really just looking for this 20 window now, taking their camps, getting all the XP they can off of the map, looking to find a window where they can take some picks and end this game. But the blue team much more in this game than they were before. Even with this twin offlane pressure, we've got that Faustad global that can clear out this camp, and they should be able to clear this mid camp out in time as well. All Blacks can leave this boss alone now, need to get position in time for the objective, but this is not a nice fight for the blue team, and it's a rough decision to make because this choke into Li Ming can be so hard to fight, but if you don't take this, you might see Curse Point when they have 20 and you don't, so blue team kind of forced into taking a rough fight over the tribute here.
Indeed, Falset in the meantime is on the bot lane to create more and more XP to get the level 20 talents as well, and so far it's just poking around between both of the teams because none of the teams will go full on it because no team got their level 20 ability yet, but the red team is about to get it just in a few seconds, and Falset is coming in as well. But look at this combo from Li Ming, just burning this Deathwing down. And now the level 20 abilities are in, and immediately the blue team is more careful than before. Deathwing has to use his flight to get out of trouble, and maybe the blue team has to let it slide.
They're still poking away though. They don't care that they haven't got this 20 yet. They are looking to try and contest this tribute, the Kwak-A-Mole. They don't want to give anything else on this map. And they're doing a very good job of sinking these interrupts. This is incredibly well played for a team who are 7 games into the night today, I believe. 8, no, because of that 2-1. This is their 8th game today, Johnny. All high-stakes games, and their coordination is still almost perfect, although unfortunately, eventually that cap will go over. Falstad, though, may be caught here by the Johanna. Is there a shield here? The arrow comes down onto Lunara. Cleanse comes out. The wind tunnel will be enough to save him. Maybe no. Li Ming finds the kill. Is going to get feared away. Is there going to be follow-up, though? Damage comes out onto the Deathwing, and the blue team have to get back. They can't die here, but Hanzo finds Lunara. Big kill. ETC with the bolt out will keep him alive. Hanzo is so low now, but... oh, so close to going in the favor of the All Blacks, but that counter kill onto the Lunara by the Hanzo, so well done there.
It was so important to prevent the red team for taking further steps onto the core. But the next tribute is up, and the red team can get the next curse against the blue team. But the blue team is doing everything in their power to prevent that from happening. Falstad will be back sooner as Lunaro, and he can fly into the fight, and has, in addition to that, the wind tunnel up as well. But first of all, we got a technical pause, I guess, before the one of the potential team fights is going to happen. Oh my god.
This is a rough one for the All Blacks. They are going to have to back off kind of soon, because without this Lunara, they won't be able to fight, and Falstad's flight is going to put him there a good 10 seconds before the Lunara. However, if they can stall this out until Lunara gets here, that offlane pressure on the top side is going to do so much damage. That is eventually going to threaten core, so especially if the flight is used to get here, it's going to be very difficult for the All Blacks to successfully contest this tribute.
I guess this issue will just be solved as we're just about to get back into this game and in this potential next team fight. And yes, indeed, we are back on the track, and the blue team will now fight for every single inch. There's another combination on ETC. He is dropping. He's power sliding out. Hanzo Arrow is missing everything, but ETC survives. He slided out. There's Falstad now, and they find the kill, the very important kill on the Li Ming. Oh my god.
Thrall now has to pop his medallion if he wants to get out. Going to get gripped here by the Anduin, but Johanna won't be so lucky. She is falling here in that mosh pit. Oh, I thought ETC was a goner, but as we mentioned, the catapults mounting up on that core. 2 of them already shelling away at that shield. The blue team are going to have to respond to this, I think, but they're just on the boss. Okay, Falstad backs off now. Dizzy Dwarf gonna be here to try and take it down, and this boss is gonna get a keep, I think.
Indeed,
for
and
the blue team. But Lunara,
yeah, look at Lunara.
This aggressive camp. She wants pressure on the core, and I think Lunara kills Falstad 1v1, so he's gonna have to be a little bit careful here. She still has both charges her lead. Okay, she's not gonna go looking for it.
The choice is simple.
Yeah, it's just way too dangerous being so deep into the enemy lines, and now this is the maybe potential tribute to decide everything. Both of the teams got already 2 tributes collected for the next curse, and now the last remaining one. The red team honestly can play this slow. They got pressure on the top lane, they got pressure on the bottom lane. Yes, of course, they can go for the defense on the bot lane boss, because he nearly dropped nothing.
And it looks like they are just going to give this tribute, choose to play the defense on the boss. So what are Kwak-A-Mole going to do with this curse that they have? That mid fort is an obvious starting point. But what are we bringing it into is the real question. What's our next objective? Doesn't look like this bottom keep is going to fall just yet, so we're going to have to find something to force into. Falstad pushing out that top lane, but red team's rotating up. He's going to have to back off now, and Li Ming wants Dizzy Dwarf.
Yes, she's looking for him, and we already saw how much damage a good Li Ming combo can get onto the little bird. And Jory with the Deathwing flies down, knows that he got the ult back up when... Ooh, and the fear missed, unfortunately. But the Hanzo arrow hits on 2-3, and where's the mosh pit when you need it? On cooldown, unfortunately. And they were losing all...
down first here in this fight. Is there a second for Li Ming? Falstad flies in. It looks like that's all it's going to be, Johnny.
Oh no. First of all, I thought that is a great opportunity for the blue team to come back into this. But now when the red team is facing the top lane boss as they do. As you already said, this boss can end the game.
It
Oh my
definitely
God.
could, but this is still a 4v5 fight. The blue team have got Mosh Pit, they have got Wind Tunnel. This is not a foregone conclusion. The red team's going to have to be very careful here. Anduin currently taking that boss pressure. Falstad's gone around the backside. The Wind Tunnel might be a bit too early, though. I don't think this is going to be enough to steal that boss away. Lanara jumping on the ETC, keeping position on that boss, and now Falstad is in no man's land. Thrall running him down. Anduin as well. That is going to be the first kill going over. ETC, interesting mosh pit on his own there. Looks like the Deathling's going to fall, and I think this is going to be all she wrote, Johnny, as the All Blacks on the death march towards the blue team's call. NA arrow not connecting. I don't think there's enough damage left in this game to kill the boss, Johnny.
It was very difficult for Falstad to get a big look onto the boss because there was just no vision, and the calculation was not as good as he thought because the red team didn't deal as much damage as previous because they were preventing the blue team from getting closer onto this, and now the blue team with everything they have fighting back, but Tyrande is falling. There's another combination on Hanzo, and this is game. This has to be it. The All Blacks are taking down the team of Kwak-A-Mole with a 3-1 victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our champions. Epic Cup, the best team in all of Division 4 and 5, and maybe it shouldn't come as too much as a shock to us. It is the winners of Division 4, the All Blacks. So close to that perfect run, dropping one map in that final series. Very well done from them, Johnny.
I'm also very impressed by them. That could also go to the last map, to the final 5th map, but this boss fight and this kill on Falstad was the decision to end the game with the boss over the top lane. Oh my god. It was so close, all the games, and especially on Dragonshire. Kwak-A-Mole had the hope to win the next games as well, and they had momentum. They had really good momentum. But this Li Ming shut everything down.
There was a moment where the dream was real. The reverse sweep was there. It was so close. That 20 curse, if they had just been able to find an angle, it would have been so good. But unfortunately, not quite capable. And now, a very special treat for all involved. I am very happy to welcome into the chat for the winners interview the Epic Cup champions themselves, the All Blacks. Hello there, guys.
Hello.
Hello. How did you find it? How are we all feeling?
Pretty well, actually.
Feeling pretty good. Really
I'm-
excited.
Yeah, it was really good.
Well, I know that I am absolutely exhausted, and I've only been here since the semis, so I can't help begin to imagine what you guys must feel like. So I'm going to give you a minute's rest, and if it's okay with him, I'm going to pass over to the lounge master, Dr. Petman, to say
Good.
a few words.
Good evening, and yeah, I absolutely can understand how long a day this can be for just the casters and, of course, the players alike. So I hope you're not too tired to enjoy the moment, as you are our Season 13 Epic Cup winners. And as you may already be aware, this entitles you to obtain some of our highest quality plastic in the form of trophies. That's right. Each and every one of you can be sent your own trophies for winning this epic event within the next year or so. You should receive delivery of those. I'm really not joking. It takes ages.
Wait. Before you confirm that, I'm from Andorra. I don't know if that's gonna reach here. Honestly.
Well, we could try at least, right?
Fair
It
enough.
comes in normal post, right? So it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
We pay for all the postage and everything. That's absolutely fine.
Cool.
Awesome.
And that's also awesome that you're playing from Andorra. I hope the lag isn't too bad from there.
He has the least amount of lag from all of us, I think.
Really? That's unbelievable. I can't imagine where the rest of you can be playing from. Well, I guess I can guess, but that's unbelievable. I really hope you guys had a great time playing, and despite that lag, I am very, very impressed that you were able to win. But of course, I think we do need to give a huge amount of consideration to Kwak-A-Mole as well for putting up a great fight there. So, yeah, just send me all of your names and addresses, and I will regret the postage fees later on, I'm sure. And then I also want to give a shout out, of course, to all of the casters and behind the scenes people that have been involved. I mean, it's just amazing to see these events take place and to have these amateur events cast in such a high production value that we have now. And I honestly can't thank all the people which give up their spare time enough to make this possible. So huge thanks to all of you, and of course to the players. So with that, I'll probably pass it over to the rest of you.
Thank you very much. That is our lounge master over there. Remember to ping him with all your thanks in our Discord. There's nothing he loves more than seeing those little red numbers tick up.
Oh
on
yeah,
the Heroes
absolutely.
Discord.
I love that. Sure.
Um,
See you guys.
My voice is now completely gone, so I'm going to hand over to Johnny for a couple of interview questions for the fabulous All Blacks. But incredible congratulations to you guys, Epic Cup champions.
Exactly, Epic Cup champions. That's first of all sounds great, and for me also big congratulations. What an epic fight! Not during the whole day, but also into this last series. Oh my god, I'm very impressed. And my first question is: did you thought that this is going to happen today?
Of course.
Yeah, we kind of came in here very confident that we are gonna win this.
Yeah.
Okay. And,
Never had a doubt.
Okay. Well, and the next question, especially from my perspective, was after the you lost against Kwak-A-Mole on Dragonshire. You picked that map, and can you first of all tell me why did you pick especially this map?
Yeah, well, so we have a really cool comp that's been working out for us, which is more or less what you have seen, where we don't get super obsessed about capping the decay because we have so much push pressure, so much structure damage, then for the most of the game, even without capping a single decay, we already are opening into the keeps. So usually it works super well. We were doing very fine, I think, at some point, and then little mistakes came across from all of us. And yeah, like the pressure has to get to you, you know. We did a good series, I think, and in that last game, I think we were too eager to end. That got into us.
And a quick shout out to the community. Ladies and gentlemen, you can now vote who was the MVP of the grand final. Just write one number from 1 until 5 for your favorite hero of the grand final. And my next question to you guys is, after losing on Dragonshire, was there maybe the thought, could we potentially lose this? Is now the reverse sweep hitting us?
I don't think I mean, you have to respect the opponents no matter who they are. So you don't go in thinking we're gonna lose or we can lose, but you go respecting, right? So we have to calm down. It's been a long day, and say, okay, let's bring it back. That's it.
Yes. Now I hand it over to my co-caster today, Luca. Any questions you want to ask?
All I really have to say is, going into this was a grudge match. You were both in Group A. Were you expecting to win this game? Were you ready to show that 2-1 was a bit of a fluke? Or were you guys a bit worried seeing the previous champions, I've been told, in Kwak-A-Mole up against you?
Up to you guys. I've been talking a lot.
So, I mean, we were pretty worried a little bit, especially looking how they had a lot of success with their triple frontline comp. So we thought about it, how to counter it and stuff, and after having a good think, we were still confident.
Fair enough. I'm glad to hear it. And the MVP votes have been racking in. And unfortunately, the quality of my screen is very, very poor. But it looks like number 4 is winning. Can I find out who number 4 is?
It's Benny.
Benny is currently leading the Chargers MVP for Grand Final. So,
Yeah.
Benny, any words on that?
I mean, I think we just won because we all worked well together. I mean,
I mean, to be fair, Benny has a lot of Sims, and I don't know where they come from.
That too.
Yeah, I don't think you can win on your own. So, that's why that's why I think our team should get the MVP and not one single person, because I mean probably one single person did a lot, but I mean it would get us nowhere if we did not work so well together as we did.
Okay. Very, very humble of you, Benny. If that is all that remains is for me to say thank you to everyone that was involved in the production today. All of the mods who gave their time running it in the background. Thank you to all the casters who appeared on screen. Special thanks, of course, to Sergeant Johnny for casting this final with me, and Brightwing, who we all love, who helped me out in the semi-finals. Thank you, of course, to Samu for running all of this, and it only remains for me to leave it up to you guys, All Blacks. Any shout-outs to end this stream?
Shout out to the Heroes Lounge team, first of all, for
Yeah, right.
actually organizing all of that and making it possible to actually play this tournament. Do you guys want to do any shout outs as well? I'll leave it to the rest of the team.
I want to shout out to actually my own team. Like, I've been okay, so I've joined this 1 season ago. I played for the first time in all this environment last season. I wasn't even the main tank or anything. I was just DPS. And having this team, these guys, where I really enjoy playing with them, makes me very, very easy to practice a new role and learning and all that stuff. Shout out also to some guys that actually helped me through the learning curve. Gabriel is one of them. I believe he's playing currently in Division 2. The past season, he was a huge help for the All Blacks. We were super fresh, and he helped a lot, definitely.
Also, big shout out to Redbout, who didn't play with us today, but throughout the season. We love you.
Yay!
All right, well, thank you to everyone in chat who came to watch this. A reminder that next week the Legendary Cup will be on Saturday, the Mythic Cup will be on Sunday, and then, of course, on the 12th, we will have the most prestigious of tournaments, the ARAM Cup. Which team is the best at running it down mid lane? Followed up by the most innovative tournament of all of Heroes of the Storm history. You know the pasta. It's the Nexus Rumble. I have been Luca. I have been joined by Sergeant Johnny and many others before us. Thank you for tuning into this marathon of an epic cup, and congratulations to the All Blacks.
Thank you.
Thank you,
to everybody.
thank you very much.
So when do we do that match? All Blacks against Casters?
The secret
Well,
encounter, guys.
I guess now that's the time for me to leave, I guess?
See you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Oh my god.
But last but not least, we don't forget about the one thanking all of us, and now I have to thank you, Luca, for being my colleague in this casting for this grand final. It was a pleasure to cast with you. Thanks for being here. Yes.
It's very kind of you.